This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good afternoon, students. Let them join later. I'm going to start the class today. So today we are going to discuss about low frequency control of single area system. So, as we seen in last class, what is the importance of low frequency control? How we can control the frequency from load side as well as generating side, and what will happen when the load is suddenly increase? What will happen when the load is suddenly decrease? How the stress will be formed? So these are the topic we discussed in previous class, right? So here in this class we are going to discuss about if you consider the single area system, so how we can manage, how we can control the load frequency. So I already told you that the load frequency we can control in both ways. One is from generating side, another one is from load side. So we can control the load frequency as well as we were use where we can use both ends at load end as well as generating end. So we can control the load frequency at both ends. Okay, now so based on our convenient. Now here in this method, in this topic, the load frequency we can control in the two ways. One is static response and dynamic response. Now let me see that how we can control the load frequency by using static, and how we can control the load frequency by using dynamic. So these are the topic we are going to discuss in today's class. So better just follow my class and note down that what we are discussing now. So then only you can understand that the concept. And in this third unit, the completely derivation part is related to the block diagram which was discussed in the previous that is second unit. So that is block, three blocks are there, right? Speed governing and turbine model. We form the block diagram. So the three combinations is called as single area. So now we are going to derive that the derivation by using the block diagram by controlling both the generating side as well as load side. So let's move on the topic now. So this is the so the most probably you will get two topics from this third unit in our external exam. One is low frequency control of single area system. Another one is low frequency control of multiple area system. Yeah, so these are the two topics. Part A is single area system and part B is multi area system. And in that single area system, they may ask by using static response, by using a dynamic response. So then these are the two questions you may get in single area system. So if you know that block diagram itself, it is enough to understand this concept what we are going to discuss now. Right. So the load frequency control of a single area system. Single area system is a combination of turbine, speed governing model, and generating model. So the three blocks is a combination is called as single area system. Now the frequency control in a single area system, we can control the frequency by two ways. One is from load side, another one is from generating side. See here, if you observe, if you see these 2 points, so these 2 points are represent that what is the way we can control the load frequency. Let delta PC be the incremental control input and delta PD be the incremental disturbance input. So disturbance in the sense of, so it is a load demand. So load demand means when the load is suddenly increase or decrease, it makes a disturbance, right? So that's why the name itself called as incremental disturbance input. Now by using these two variables, we are going to use the load frequency control method. Now, the incremental control input is due to the change in the speed changes setting, while incremental disturbance input due to the change in the load demand. See, if you see these two sentences, this is the term which is controlling action done by the generating side, and this is the sentence explain about the controlling action done by the load side, right? So there are two types of responses. One is steady state response and dynamic state response. As you know that the difference between the steady state and dynamic state, right? So can you differ these two? What is the difference between steady state and dynamic state? Anybody, the differences between just single, you can give single sentence definition. Differences between these two, steady state and dynamic state. So let it be. I will give an example here. If you take that a transformer or generator motor, so it may be a generator. Let's take a transformer generator, right? So here, the way of converting from input to output for in transformer, it is the same form. So we are giving the voltage as the input and we are getting the output voltage. So electrical energy to electrical energy, and one in the case of generator, we are giving that one form of energy input and getting the another energy form of output. And in both two devices there is an induced emf, and the emf induced in the generator is called as dynamically induced emf, and the same time the emf induced in the transformer is called as statically induced emf. The because of there are two reasons. One is in transformer we are giving the same form of input and getting the same form of output, and it is a static device because there is no mechanical parts. And in case of generator we are giving the one form of energy and getting the other form of energy, and it is a it has the rotating parts. That's why the emf induced in the generator is called as dynamically induced emf. Similarly in motor also. So that is the difference between static and dynamic. So static in the sense of the way of controlling the action, way of the converting the energy, so that describes the steady state and dynamic response. Now these are the two topics we are going to derive, that the derivation for the low frequency control of a single area system. At the two cases, again there are two sub cases. So for first one we have the two cases, and second one I have the two cases. What are the two cases means? The first one is steady state response or static response for uncontrolled case. Similarly, static response for controlled case. So we have to derive the derivation for uncontrolled case as well as controlled case for the two steady state as well as dynamic state response. Let me discuss one by one later. Right. See here, these are the two topics and four subtopics of the two methods. One is static response and dynamic response. Within these two, there are two subtopics. These are uncontrolled case and controlled case. Let me take the steady state response. Here, when it is uncontrolled case means when we are choosing the input parameter as a constant. That is, so we are controlling the action. We are controlling action completely based on that load set. So that is, so when we are depending, when we are controlling the from load side, it is completely uncontrollable. Why? Because the load should not be in our hands. So it may be sometimes suddenly increase or suddenly decrease. So that's why the controlling action done by the from the load side, it is called as uncontrolled case. Next, second case is control case. So here the load is constant, but we can vary the generating capacity based on our requirement. So it is completely in our hand. Then it is called as control case. So these are the two topics we can discuss both cases. One is static response and dynamic response. Now I will give the simple differences between these two. If you want to find the derivation in this case, that is in static response, we are going to use this derivation by using the final value theorem. And here we can use for obtaining dynamic state response, we can use partial fractions and Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transform. So this is the two differences where in derivation part, right? So derivation part lo manaki two cases untayi. Two cases ee vidhanga discuss cheskuntam. Now today's class we are going to discuss about the steady state response at uncontrolled case. Okay now, so this is the first topic we are going to discuss in this today's class. Right. So have you all seen this block diagram, right? This is the block diagram we obtained that in previous unit, that is second unit. That is the block diagram of speed governing model. It means that if you represent the single unit, it consists of a speed governing mechanism, turbine model, and generator model. The combination of these two devices is called as single area system. Now, if you observe this block diagram here, this is the input, and it is this is the input we are obtaining from the speed changer, right? Based on the speed changer, we can control the generating power from the generator, and the PDS. This is the load demand. Now, in this case, we have to be control the low frequency by using these two parameters, that is the power from the speed changer and the load demand. So remaining all same, so we had to be consider these two parameters. So this is the entire block diagram of a single area system. So keep remember that single area system is called as the combination of speed governing mechanism, turbine model, generator model with the feedback of regulation. Now for this case, that is steady state response of uncontrolled case. So in this case, what is the constant and what is variable? In this case, delta pc is a constant, so that's why we had to choose that delta pc equals to 0. Why? Because uncontrolled, so మనకి ఇక్కడ two parameters ఉన్నాయి, ఒకటి generating parameter, load parameter. Generating parameter ఎప్పుడు మన చేతిలో ఉంటుంది, so we can control based on our requirement, but load is not in our hand. That's why the controlling action done by the load side is a uncontrolled case. Now the first case is steady state response of a uncontrolled case. In this case, delta pc is a constant and delta pd is a variable. So constant in the sense we are considering the 0, so just we are giving the one value and keep it as constant, so there is no variation here. So this is the first assumption. So while the steady state response we are going to use for an uncontrolled case, in this condition we have to choose the two parameters. One is speed change parameter is constant and it is equal to 0, that is delta pc. So actually delta pc is a constant, right? And delta pc is the change in the power speed changer 0 kada. So eppadaithe constant undo there is no change, right? So that's why the changing in the speed changer is 0. Okay na? Similarly the delta pd is a changeable, that's why it is called as uncontrolled case. Now by using these two conditions, let me see that how the block diagram will be modified. Okay now, so this is the let just note down that these two, one is delta pc is a constant and delta pc equals to 0 and pd of s is a variable. Now by considering that delta pc equals to 0, now let me see the how the block diagram will be modified, right? See here, consider the speed changer as a fixed setting. Under this condition, delta pc of s equals to 0. Why? Because when we choose the power from the speed changer is constant, there is no change, right? That's why we are considering the 0. And the load demand is completely keep on going to changes. That's why it is called as uncontrollable case. This is known as free governor operation. So this is the most important question. Okay, now I will ask in the slip test. So which one is called as what is the condition for free governor operation, right? So free governor operation means we are keeping the fixed value of the speed governor, so that is called as free governor operation. Now the block diagram is shown is below by substituting delta pc of s equals to 0. If you observe this left hand side of you, the entire term is eliminated, so this is eliminated here. Why? Because the delta pc of s equals to 0, so there is no need to consider this part. Now the block diagram should be becomes like this. Now if you observe this block diagram, here it is a previous one, it is a negative feedback system, right? So that's why the negative sign is applied here. So now while considering that delta pc of s equals to 0, the block diagram should be becomes like this. Now we have to be reduce this block diagram based on our block diagram reduction rule. So already you guys are did in the control system, right? So based on the block based on the feedback, that is whether it is positive or negative, based on that we can reduce the block diagram by using feedback loop, right? Feedback loop transfer function. Suppose if the system is negative feedback loop, what is the transfer function we can obtain? The block diagram is a negative feedback loop. What is the transfer function we can obtain? If the block diagram is negative feedback loop, then what we will get the transfer function. What is the formula for negative feedback loop? Right, g divided by 1 plus gh. What about in the case of positive feedback, we will get g divided by 1 minus gh, right? So the same principle we are using in this block diagram reduction. Then we will see that how we can, so just do this reduction this block diagram. సో ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఈ బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్ పాజిటివ్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అవుతుందా నెగటివ్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అవుతుందా? So are you seeing the block diagram which is belongs to positive or negative feedback? What type of feedback it has? Negative or positive feedback? Negative feedback, right? Why? Because so most of them are just looking this positive value, but so no one is considering this minus. So when the minus value is multiplied with plus, you will get minus, right? So that's why this is the negative feedback loop, right? Now this all three blocks, 1 2 3, so these are on the series, right? So it is a cascade blocks. Just combine these blocks, what you will get? kg kt divided by r into 1 plus stg and 1 plus STT. See, listen here. In some books, some materials, they are considering that small g as a capital G and small t as a capital. So don't worry. So both are same. Small g or capital G based on your convenient, no problem. So these three are cascade blocks. Now, when these three are combined, let me see that how the block diagram will be come. Right. So this is the block diagram after eliminating the cascaded blocks. So here we have the three cascade blocks, and we are adding the we are multiplying that blocks. Then we can obtain this value. Now this is the looking back to the negative feedback loop. Here we are giving the negative PD of S. So why? Because we are getting the negative sign. So the signing, the negative sign indicates that the delta PD is always opposes the generating station and generating power. ఓకేనా? సో మన జనరేటింగ్ పవర్ ఎంత చేసినా కానీ దానికి ఆపోజిట్ గా చేస్తుంది. సో ఫైనల్ గా హౌ వీ కెన్ గెట్ ద ఎనర్జీ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఇస్ Pg minus PD is equals to 0. So this is the balanced condition. So for applying this value, that's why I chosen as a minus value here. Now this is the task. This is the block diagram which is look like a negative feedback loop. Then find the transfer function g of s divided by 1 plus g of s h of s. So form the block diagram in this form, and here the output is delta f of s and the input is minus delta PD of s. So final ga delta f of s emostundi, delta f of s equals to minus of g of s divided by 1 plus g of s h of s into delta PD of s. So just obtain this equation in the form of this term. So convert cheyandi block diagram to transfer function. సో మీకు ఈ యూనిట్ చాలా సింపుల్ గా అయిపోతుంది. సో మీరు జస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ క్లాస్ చెప్పడం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే ఇట్ ఇస్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఎనఫ్. దెర్ ఇస్ నో నీడ్ టు రివైజ్ దిస్ యూనిట్. వై? బికాస్ సో ఇట్ ఇస్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఇఫ్ యూ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద one and only one block diagram. సో ఇఫ్ యూ నో ద బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్ దెన్ యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ డెరైవ్ ద ఈక్వేషన్. సో అందుకని ఇప్పటి నుంచే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి. క్లాస్ చెప్పేటప్పుడే మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. సో వేర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు కన్సిడర్ దట్ అజంప్షన్స్ అండ్ లైక్ దట్. So after completion of this transfer function, just give me a message. I will go to the next slide. Right, I will show you the answer. Just check it what you got. So this is the transfer function for the negative feedback loop. Here, this is the g of s and it is the h of s. That is the term which are having in the feedback loop. So finally, you will get delta f of s is equals to g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s into minus of delta PD of s. Right? So after after simplifying this equation, we are obtaining this. Sorry, this is term is not getting here. This is wrong. So here we are getting only Kp. Why? Because we are cross multiplying here. We are cross multiplying 1 plus STP will come here. Then you will get 1 plus STP on that get cancelled. So 1 plus STP plus Kp into so Kp is not there, right? So here Kp is there. Now, so this is the transfer function we can apply while reducing the block diagram by using reduction tool. Now, we have to find that when the load is suddenly changed. So when the load is suddenly changed, the term that is PD of S will be changed. Okay, let me consider that the load is changes to the step input, then you will get. So for the step load changes, the delta PD of S becomes delta PD divided by S. So already you know that for step input the Laplace transform step input is 1 by s. So అందుకని delta PDS place లో 1 by s ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. So here also we will get Kp. So here you are not getting this term. So minus Kp divided by 1 plus STP plus Kp Kg Kt divided by R into 1 plus STG into 1 plus STT. Here instead of delta PDS we are substituting that delta PD divided by S. Why? Because we are considering the step input the step load changes. Now there are some assumptions based on that. After assumptions, let me apply the final value theorem to this equation. What is the formula for final value theorem? What is the value of what is the formula for final value theorem? Anybody? Students, what is the formula for final value theorem?
Sir, f of infinity equal to limit s tends to 0 s into f of s, sir.
Right, super. So limit s tends to 0 into s into delta f of s. So now we are applying the final value theorem to this equation. Okay, now let me see what you will get when you are applying the final value theorem. So this is the formula. Just note on this final. So this is important. Just see. Just listen here. If you find the final value theorem, the limit should be comes to 0. If it is initial value theorem, you will get s tends to infinity. Okay, now. So that is the difference for final value as well as initial value. Now, if you applying the final value theorem to the above equation, what we discussed in the previous slide, see here, instead of delta fs, I am substituting. So here SS get cancelled. Yes, here what delta PD by SS get cancelled. Then you will get delta fs minus KP divided by 1 plus KP kg KD divided by R into delta PD. So remaining all terms should be cancelled here. Okay, now so endukante every term having the s value 1 plus st is there, right? So that value becomes 0. The finally we will get the only R term here. Okay, now practically so in real time applications, the value of kg and kt, the gain value of governor and turbine, the gain value of governor and turbine is multiply with is always constant, that is value equals to 1. Why? Because kt is fixed and kg can be adjusted. Okay, అంటే ఒకదాని పైన ఒకటి డిపెండెంట్ ఒకటి ప్రాక్టికల్ గా ఈ మల్టిప్లికేషన్ వాల్యూ అనేది 1 అని తీసుకుంటాం. If you consider this two terms is equal to 1, then this equation becomes delta f stat. So here stat is nothing but the static response of a single area system. Okay, now so this means static response for the frequency control. Delta f stat is equal to minus kp divided by 1 plus here kg kt becomes 1 because these are the fixed value for the practical purpose into delta pd. Okay, now in this equation I'm assuming that, so assume is not there, so we have to consider kp is equal to 1 by b and delta pd is equal to m. So these are the two parameters we have to substitute in this equation. If you substitute this equation, these two terms in this equation, what you will get? So if you substitute the kp and delta pd are two terms in this equation, that is delta ft. So what you will get? So just see here, instead of 1 by b divided by 1 plus 1 by br into m, right? So ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుంది minus m by b divided by br plus 1 divided by br. B get cancelled. Finally, you will get minus m divided by b plus 1 by r. So this is the final equation you get. Minus m divided by b plus 1 by r. Have you all got this value? Minus m divided by 1 b plus 1 by r. After substituting that the kp value and delta pd value. Now here I am assuming that I am considering the denominator entire term is beta. So you will get finally minus m divided by beta. So here beta is b plus 1 by r. So let me see the answer what you will get here. So this is the final equation of a low frequency control of by using static response is given by minus m divided by beta. So keep remember this formula. Okay, now so beta is equals to b plus 1 by r and here b is, so 1 by b, what is the value of 1 by b? kp is equals to 1 by b and delta pd is equals to m. So why? Because if some case they may ask problems also. Okay, now here b is a low damping constant and normally expressed in percentage. A value of b is equals to 2. It means that 1% of change in frequency would cause 2% change in load. Okay, now So actually 2% load change అంటే it may be increase or decrease. So అలా జరిగినప్పుడు the frequency will be changes as a 1%. So that is the difference. So actually ఇక్కడ మనం frequency అనేది రెండు పారామీటర్స్ పైన డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది. ఒకటి జనరేటింగ్ సైడ్, లోడ్ సైడ్. లోడ్ సైడ్ మనకు 2% చేంజ్ జరిగితే ఇట్ మే బి ఇంక్రీస్ ఆర్ డిక్రీస్. ఇట్ chances to occur 1% change in the frequency. Okay, now that is the indication given by this value B. Now here I am assuming that beta is equals to B plus 1 by M, right? 1 by R. So here beta is the area frequency response coefficient in per unit megawatts per hertz. Okay, now so keep remembering these units of beta. Beta is an area frequency response coefficient. It means that the beta value gives the so suppose if it is they will give that the area frequency response constant is beta. So you can easily find that minus m by beta, or you can what is the frequency changes occur in the static response. So that is the given by beta is equal to area frequency response coefficient in per unit megawatts per hertz. Right. So if the system performance in terms of, so ఇప్పుడు మనకి యాక్చువల్ గా ఏదైనా పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ని మెజర్ చేయాలంటే if we want to analyze that any performance of a device, we go for different parameters. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక మోటార్ తీసుకోండి, ఒక మోటార్ యొక్క పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ మీకు తీసుకోవాలంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద డిఫరెంట్ వేస్ వీ కెన్ కంట్రోల్. వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ సమ్ డిఫరెంట్ టెస్టెస్. ఓకేనా, సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక DC షంట్ మోటార్ కి మనం పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ని ఫైండ్ చేయాలి. బ్రేక్ టెస్ట్ అప్లై చేస్తాము, రిటార్డెంట్ టెస్ట్, హాప్కిన్సన్ టెస్ట్, ఫీల్డ్ టెస్ట్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ టెస్ట్ we are going to find that performance of a particular device. Similarly for the transformer, so if you want to find the performance of a transformer, we are go for different types of tests as OCSC test and Sampana's test, load test. So these are the different methods. So based on our convenience, based on our values, what we know that, based on that we go for the different tests. Similarly for the system performance in terms of how the change in power affect the change in frequency, అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా పవర్ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు దాని ఎఫెక్ట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ పైన ఎలా ఉంటుంది, దట్ ఈస్ ఎవాల్యుయేటెడ్ త్రూ ఏరియా ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రెస్పాన్స్ కోఎఫిషియంట్. ఓకే, కీప్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ అబ్రివేషన్. AFRC is a area frequency response coefficient. Okay, so that value is given by beta. In practice beta is always less than the 1 by r. Okay, now let me know that if the what is the regulation value based on the performance. So if the regulation is more, what about response performance? Regulation ఎక్కువ ఉంటే పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బాగుందంట లేనంట. If the regulation is more, how the performance is good or bad? If the regulation is high, what about system performance? It is better or not better? So what is the regulation denotes that performance of a system? Right. So this is the equation we got after the B value is completely less than the 1 by r. Now if this condition the B value is completely neglected, then delta F stat we have. So already what is the formula we have? Delta PD divided by B plus 1 by r, right? If the B value is eliminated, you will get minus R into delta PD. Now finally the delta F stat divided by delta PD. So it's look like an output by input value. Okay, now is equals to minus or hertz per megawatt. So hertz per megawatt. So you can easily represent these units. Why? Because numerator we have the frequency and denominator we have the load. That's why hertz per megawatt. Where R is a speed regulation. Okay, now so ఇక్కడ చూడండి, when the load is increases, the speed regulation will be reduced. Okay, now అంటే రెగ్యులేషన్ అనేది దేనిపైన డిపెండ్ అంటే if the regulation is increases then the system performance will be reduced. ఓకేనా, రెగ్యులేషన్ కనుక ఎంత తక్కువగా ఉంటే అంత పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బెటర్ గా ఉన్నట్టు. See here, if the regulation is if the demand will be more, you will get that more value. So here minus R you will get, right? So here R is the speed regulation value. In this case, when this delta frequency divided by delta PD, we are getting the minus R value. So when we are getting the negative R means uncontrolled case. Okay now, so when we are choose the path for controlling the low frequency by using the load, so here we are getting the negative sign of the regulation. It means that the negative sign is denotes that it is an uncontrolled situation. Okay now, and here delta F stat is a change in the steady state response. So here we can call it as steady state response as well as static response. Don't confuse. Okay now, steady state response is the same as the static response. So we can call both of you whatever you want. Now, if you want to find that number of units regulation, so this is the formula we have to use. Delta F static is equals to minus delta PD divided by B plus 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus and so on 1 by R. Now see here, if the value of minus R is gives the drooping characteristics here. Okay na, so drooping characteristics ante dani oka performance anedi tagginattu. So this graph is given by the load at a particular load, that is 100% and 60%. Okay na, so this is the representation graph. When we are using the several generators with governor speed regulation R1, R2, Rn are connected to system, the steady state deviation in frequency is given by. So this is the formula we have to use when the number of several generators and governor speed regulations are connected. And the group of low frequency curve is shown figure is mainly determined by the regulation. So based on the regulations, we can assume that what is the performance of a particular system. So we are getting the minus value of regulation. So we can easily say that this performance is not good. Why? Because it is completely uncontrollable and it is not able to control within a short time. So there is some modifications we have to do and it should be becomes as a controlled case. Okay now, so this is about today's topic, that is static response of uncontrolled case. Okay now, in tomorrow class we will discuss static response of controlled case. So in controlled case, which one is constant and which one is variable? In controlled case, which one is constant and which one is variable?
Delta PC equal to constant, sir. Delta PD equal to variable, sir.
Constant case చెప్పేది.
Yes, sir.
Wait. అన్కంట్రోల్డ్ కేసులో బాగుండండి, అన్కంట్రోల్డ్ కేసులో డెల్టా పీసీ అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్ అవుతుంది, అందుకని జీరో. ద వేరియబుల్ ఇస్ డెల్టా పీడి. ఎక్కడైతే వేరియబుల్ మన వేరియబుల్ ఎక్కడ జరుగుతుంది? లోడ్ దగ్గరే కదా. సో లోడ్ వేరీ అయినప్పుడు దాని యొక్క కంట్రోల్ అనేది కంట్రోల్ చేయలేము ఈజీగా, అందుకని దాని అన్కంట్రోలబుల్ కేస్ అంటారు. ఇన్ కంట్రోల్ కేస్ delta PD is a constant, so that delta PD equals to 0 and delta PC is a variable. Okay now, so that is the difference between controlled case and uncontrolled case. Keep among these 2 points. Okay now, so for uncontrolled case, PC is a constant, then delta PC will get 0 and the variable parameter is delta PD. In control case, delta PD is a constant, that's why it becomes 0 and delta PC as a variable. Okay now, so based on this two identification, let me derive that how the frequency response, how the frequency control we can get when the static response in controlled case. So this is the topic we are going to discuss in tomorrow class. Okay, so up to now, do you have any doubts here? సో ఇక్కడ మీకు 4 డెరివేషన్స్ వస్తాయి. ఇక్కడ 4 మీకు ఇక్కడ 2 పార్ట్స్ చేస్తే, పార్ట్ ఏ లో సింగిల్ ఏరియా సిస్టమ్ వస్తుంది, పార్ట్ బి లో మల్టీ ఏరియా సిస్టమ్ వస్తుంది. సింగిల్ ఏరియా సిస్టమ్ లో ఈ 4 డెరివేషన్ లో ఏ డెరివేషన్ అని అడగచ్చు. ఓకేనా, static response for control case, uncontrolled case, dynamic response for control case, uncontrolled case. Okay na? So this is about part A. Part B లో వచ్చేసి మల్టిపుల్ ఏరియా సిస్టమ్. సేమ్ ఇలాగే చేస్తాం. అక్కడ మల్టిపుల్ ఏరియా అంటే ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒక సింగిల్ బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఉంది కదా, దాన్ని ఇంకొక బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్ అటాచ్ చేసి రెండు రిడాక్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో వీఆర్ యాడింగ్ ద 2 బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్స్. ఓకేనా? సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as మల్టిపుల్ ఏరియా సిస్టమ్. Okay, so do you have any doubts here? So ఈ డెరివేషన్ మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా? జస్ట్ ట్రై దట్ కంట్రోల్ కేస్ ఆల్సో. సో then only you can understand the easily. ఓకేనా? Right. So this is about today's class. So do you have any doubts? No, right? Right. So I am going to end this class now. Thank you.